Hello everyone! I'm Squallcasting, bringing you another game featuring Liquid Hero, because I still haven't gotten through all of his replays. Hero instantly queuing his Nexus to 1, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 0. I'm going to do this every time I play Protoss now, because that's obviously how you win. Now his opponent is some Korean guy, and I went, you know what, the last time this happened, it turned out to be Marine King, and I felt very silly for making up a name for him, so I was like, Google Translate, I choose you, and that's what it gave me. Yes, I have no idea what that is, so that's who he's playing. If you know Korean, you actually know who that is, please let me know in the comments, I would love to know. But, yeah, that is who Liquid Hero is playing. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun doing this Liquid Hero series. I'm going to try to do more of these series-type things in the future where I just follow a single player for a really long time. Because you just get to get a sense of all the different strategies they have and techniques and kind of their overall style. And Hero's just so well-rounded. I love watching him play. So he's just going to get in with that probe, start scouting around, sees that there's no gas yet, so this is going to be Command Center first. He's saving up a whole bunch of minerals, and it looks like Hero is going to Nexus first in response. Oh, that was kind of fun. Looks like he's going to try to... Okay, he tried to scoot that SCV out so Hero wouldn't be able to see it. Hero channeling his inner Huck. Or rather, Huck. Yeah. Maybe I'll say that when Huck does that, he's channeling his inner Hero. Because, I mean, while I really enjoy Huck's play, and I think he's a great player, I think it's safe to say that Hero is in a different league. Just recently, Hero actually won the IPL Hot Import Nights tournament. If you didn't see that, it was a 4-player invitational tournament that the IGN Pro League ran during Hot Import Nights in Los Angeles, I believe it was. So, yeah, Hero did win that. It's pretty cool. So, Mr. Korean here did go for the Command Center first. Still working on getting it done. Wow, Hero delaying that quite a bit with that probe. Man, this SCP might go down if he's not careful. Okay, good. And, yeah, he's going to get repaired up, so that's excellent. Hero, on the other hand, has gotten his Nexus going. I'll pull up that production queue because I forgot to do that. And taking both his gases now, so he definitely wants to be able to start teching up pretty quick. But he did delay those so he could get his Nexus down as soon as humanly possible. So, oh yeah, one other thing. If unless I forget to do this in post-processing, there should be a fun little picture of me now down here where the green box is. So that way you guys can see what I'm like. You can see me in all my nerdy glory as I'm standing there with a ridiculous beard and my Force FX lightsabers that are so much fun. Until they broke, because I played with them too much. And, yeah, I am proud of being a nerd. I've been a nerd my entire life. When I was, you know, a little one, when I was young, when it was recess and we were all outside, I wasn't playing tag with the kids. I would walk along these tires that they had in the playground. They were set in this huge line. I just walked back and forth on them the entire time, pretending I was in the Star Wars universe, the commander of the Rebel fleet, you know, and I'd make up these ridiculous scenarios, like instead of 1 Death Star, there were 2 Death Stars, and then, you know, in one situation, we boarded 1 Death Star and took it over, and then used it to shoot the other Death Star. I'm sure that happened at some point. So, I had a very, very active imagination as a child, and, here's got a probe down here. It looks like he wants to put down a pylon. But, oh, engineering bay block. That's interesting. I mean, Hero didn't have a probe down there. He was saving up a whole bunch. He was up to like 400 minerals, but now he's dropping them all into gateways. And, oh, 5-gate pressure incoming. That'll be fun to see. But yeah, I was a nerd before being a nerd was cool and in. I'm proud of being a nerd, guys, so there you go. I guess we'll get back to this game. And for reference, I don't have a beard like that anymore. My wife would not be very happy if I had a beard like that. she likes me without that scratchy facial hair. So Hero does get this pylon down here. It is going to be scouted. And the SCV actually sees the probe right away. So, oh wow, he doesn't see the pylon now. If he checked, he probably saw the probe and might know something's up. But, wow, missing that very common location. Kind of odd. Now, it looks like Hero's been poking back and forth a little bit. That SCV going to slip by the forces there. And here we go. Lots of warping in coming from Hero. Korean player throwing down 2 more bunkers, so he knows this is coming. He's trying to prepare, but it remains to be seen if Hero's attack will hit before those bunkers finish. They're halfway done, and I think they will finish before Hero gets there, so that's going to help this Korean dude quite a lot. I don't know what to call it. Blue Terran? That feels so generic. I don't know what to call him. Anyways, but Hero's pushing forward regardless. Only 2 of those bunkers actually have units in them, and Hero darting back and forth. Here we go. Some force fields go down, preventing some SCVs from repairing. Some still are, though. And those zealots are dying quite quickly. And wow, this mass repair is ridiculous. God, how many SCVs died? Looks like 7. Not sure if that was worth losing that many zealots. But that said, this Korean Mr. Terran here is losing so much mining time doing this. It's actually ridiculous. We just pull open the income. Hero has double his opponent's income because of all those SCVs that have been pulled off. Still working away on the bunker. Is he going to get it? No, he is not. Those SCVs are very good. And wow, Hero losing quite a lot of stuff doing this. And that said, though, he's doing a lot of economic damage to his opponent. And now he's killed 18 SCVs. Wow. And the only reason the Terran is able to keep even is thanks to these mules that are landing and mining right now. Yeah, 3 mules at each base. So, he's holding on for now, but Hero is taking his 3rd behind this, so this is by no means all in. Darts forward, tries to get another SCV, but doesn't. Loses a stalker for his troubles. And, yeah, he's taking a 3rd base behind this. The Terran player does have an orbital up there, so he is able to produce SCVs out and get more mules. So that is allowing him to actually jump ahead, but he's behind on SCVs because he's lost quite a few. And, yeah, Hero's definitely keeping him contained, if nothing else. How else is Hero taking out behind us? He's getting a Twilight Council and a Forge. Another big attack going in. Some force fields going down. Is he going to get it? Oh, that was so close! Force fielding off some Marines, though, they die. And are very sad. And Hero just continuing to contain his opponent. So that Twilight Council is done. And he's getting armor now. Is he going to get any other attack? Doesn't look like it. Okay, he's getting charge. But, oh, siege tanks are up now, so Hero does fall back. The attack was thwarted, and in the end killed 20 SCVs. Not sure if that was quite worth it, because he didn't actually deal any infrastructure damage to his opponent, and didn't really kill that many units. He killed a lot of mining time, and quite a few SCVs, but I'm not sure if it was quite worth it. I mean, Hero is even with him now, and was able to get that 3rd secured nicely. But now there's this counter push coming. That's a little bit scary. Are there any medevacs on the field yet? Nope. He is building the reactor onto there. We'll start producing medevac. And I think once he has his first 2 medevacs, we'll see him push out and attack. And that's going to be the scary point for Hero. When Stim, Combat Shield, and medevac all come together, Marines become very, very scary. And I don't know if this is actually mathematically true, but I think a stimmed Marine is the highest DPS per cost unit in the game. Like in terms of the damage output you get relative to its cost. Because they only cost 50 minerals, and when they stim, they shoot really, really fast. So, I don't know if that's actually accurate. I'm sure there's some like Team Liquid spreadsheet that illustrates this. But, even if they aren't, they're probably pretty high up there. Because, well, Marines are really good, man. But here we go. The Hero has finished charge. He's getting stormed now. So he's not just sitting on gateway tech. And oh, his army gets split up. That is always terrible when you try to move your units out and they just naturally split up to go there. I feel like whoever designed the map did that intentionally. They're like, let's try to make this so that every time you move command here, units will like automatically split up and go top bottom. just to screw over people that aren't paying attention. This entire map design is based around screwing over people that don't pay attention. That's my theory. Hero is getting a warp prism, so he'll be able to use that in conjunction with his Templar to protect Templars from snipes, EMPs, and just allow them to move around a little bit faster. But this is a scary push coming out of our Korean player here. He has 4 tanks, this many Marines, however many that is, and 4 medevac. Actually, I'll just bring this up. 42 Marines, wow, and I don't know if Hero has enough to deal with that. He does have a high tempo in there, he does have storms, so if he can get some good storms off, that will change the entire landscape of this army. The landscape of the army. I'm starting to say things that don't make sense, but it's okay. I'm alright with it. I'm caster. We'll roll with it. Don't worry. Looks like the Korean player has an inkling that this expansion is going up here, so, or he's just swinging to the 3rd. And tanks are sieging up. Hero pulling back. He doesn't want anything to do with that. And this 3rd in a little bit of trouble. The 4th is on the way. Looks like we got a big warping of Zealots here. That's going to deal quite a bit of damage. And those siege tanks not quite in range of the Nexus. Storm goes down, singes a lot of those Marines. A few of them die. And both players continue to poke prod. Oh, looks like the Zealots there were cleaned up. But there's not many SCVs left here, man. How many SCVs does he have? 56. And he's killed 32 now. So it looks like he killed 12 in that drop. And if nothing else, just attracted his opponent, preventing him from staggering his tanks forward well. And Hero once again splitting his army up either voluntarily or involuntarily. Looks like voluntarily this time since this army's stopping here. He's got a single High Templar. So that way he can throw down them storms and deal lots of damage. The main bulk of his army's up here though. There is an observer to spot for things like ghosts. And he has 1-1 done. His opponent 2-1. And here we go. Zealots charging in. Kind of wasting their charges on a very small group of units. But the tanks were not quite sieged up, but now Hero's army is just evaporating. And he is forced to fall back. He does get some really good storms down while on the retreat. And that bio is very, very damaged now. But Hero has to fall back, down by over 30 supply. This base has been done for a while, but he just hasn't had the opportunity to get probes there. He's rebuilding a bit of a wall here in terms of gateways, just to provide some buffering for that Nexus. In case an attack comes in. Is he getting any other attack? He's getting another robo facility. And he does have that Colossus Den. Or the Robotics Bay, I guess you could call it. If you want to be boring. But it's a Colossus Den. So he's got the Colossus Den, so now he can do High Templar and Colossi. Which is kind of nuts. As far as AoE goes. Protoss is basically the AoE race. And that's one of the things I like about this game. The races are not carbon copies of each other. It's not like Command and Conquer. Or, well, not all Command and Conquer games are like this. But I've seen a lot of strategy games where they'll have 2 sides and they'll be basically identical. And it's just not as interesting to me in a strategy game context. I want to see different units and see how that turns out. And of course it's, hard to balance, but Blizzard can do it. I have faith. So here is moving into a charge lot Archon Colossus force, I guess, with a few Stalkers and 1 single Immortal. Works for me. Sending some Zealots forward to scout, and by scout we mean run to their deaths. So Hero knows this is coming now, but he's behind in supply quite a lot. And those Stalkers are going to do a few pot shots and then blink away, or one dies and doesn't blink away. There we go. And Hero looking like he's in a bit of trouble here. He just doesn't have a lot of stuff. Looks like he's continuing to do some warp rounds. Oh, nice. Looks like he took out a whole bunch of SCVs there. 45 SCVs killed, so if my count is correct, he killed 13 with that. And he's going in here, but there's not really many SCVs there. That won't be worth it. But his 3rd is being sieged. There are a lot of tanks there. They do have +1, so they're dealing more damage. And this 4th is definitely going to die. Cannons are going to buy just a tiny bit of time. But there's no way Hero can get up there and see that. That base is definitely going to go down. Very unfortunate. Warping in a single Zealot who then dies as the pylon he's warping in on explodes. But here we go. Hero charging in here. Lots of tanks dying to the charge lots, but Hero's charge lot force has evaporated. And he needs to pull back, get some more of those so they can buffer damage. A number of the tanks have been cleaned up, so that's definitely good for Hero. A lot more charge lots up there. But they're charging in without support from this army here, and they're just kind of dying. I would have liked to have seen Hero try to move in with this force and pincer. And then, you know, and do a flank. Yes, there we go. Oh, wow, that War Prism. Oh, no, it goes down with a High Templar in it. Very unfortunate. But Hero's holding on. Still has a decent army. I do really like the War Prism harass he's been doing. Take a look at the income. They're about even. But Hero's quite a ways ahead on probes. 80 probes. That's pretty impressive. Oh, wow, all these probes have been left unmolested. And Hero's just going to expand there, right in range of the tank. That's pretty hilarious. Hopefully he cancels that. Oh, he does not get the cancel, but here we go. Big engagement. Lots of Colossi. Storm's going down. Jar surging forward and cutting apart the tanks, and I think Hero will be able to clean this up. And this is the point when, if I had a co-caster, he would pitch in. Well, yes, Squall, you're definitely right. Hero's got that on lockdown. That's kind of the sentence I did there, where it's meant to allow a co-caster to jump in. But obviously I don't have a co-caster, so I just have to keep talking myself. Korean player does manage to save a bunch of his units. But, yeah, Hero managing to swing the tide a little bit, getting a Dark Shrine now. When equal Dark Shrine, I guess. I mean, I don't think he's ahead. I mean, clearly the Korean player has a significantly larger army. If I can bring up the right one. There we go. Yeah, look at that army supply. That's actually kind of crazy. And the only reason it's vaguely close at all is because Hero has so many probes. And here we go. Drop coming in here. There is a Templar there with enough energy for a storm. Right now, storm goes down. A whole bunch of bile just explodes in blood and gore. But the Korean player is moving in here with a stim. Warping in a single High Templar, but he gets picked off. And he wouldn't have had the energy to do anything anyways, because they don't have that research anymore. And Hero does lose the natural, but that is not a huge loss, as it is essentially mined out. But this drop ship still going around. It's got a tank, a bunch of stuff. That High Templar is ready to feed back. So if he can feed back, when it moves in, it will die instantly, because it has more energy than health. And feedback does 1 damage per point of energy. And if you didn't know that, then you probably don't actually play StarCraft 2. And you're just watching this because you enjoy the sound of my voice. And if that's the case, I'm happy because, oh, here comes the drop. But instead, choosing to storm rather than feedback. If only you'd managed to feedback before it dropped its stuff. But that's not a lot of stuff. It's going to get cleaned up. He does pick up the bio and run away. Once again, the tank dies for the cause. That is okay. And Hero just kind of scattering a few observers and relay things across the map. A single Dark Templar here. Does he have more on the map? Nope, just 1 Dark Templar. Using that, I guess, sort of for scouting. But at the very least, could force a scan of his opponents. And oh wow, this Korean player really likes his orbitals. And this is actually a good thing to do, because once you get to this point where you have a lot of different bases, you can cut SCVs and then have tons of orbitals and then just drop mules. And the orbitals pay for themselves in 2 mules. You know, so it's that way you can have more supply available for army, as you can see here. So it's always a cool thing to see. And that's so many tanks. Oh my goodness, they have 3 attack upgrades. The bio's on 3-2. Hero's on 3-3, so he is even, but these tanks are going to be absolutely terrifying to go into. And Hero's going to have a difficult time busting through that. And he does have an observer there, so he knows it's there. He knows what's up. This bio stimming forward, trying to catch some High Templar out of position, but does not succeed. A single Marauder gets incinerated for his troubles. This Dark Templar, no kills, no kills. Wow. A single missile turret at each base totally shuts down those Dark Templar. Did his opponent actually scan in and see the Dark Shrine? He saw it warping in, so he might have clicked on it and seen that it was a Dark Shrine. So, in any case, it doesn't do too much. Some bile stimming forward here to deal some damage. Hero forced to pull back his forces, and the Korean player will probably use this opportunity to move forward all of his tanks. Storm does go down and repel the bio, but looks like he didn't take that opportunity to move forward. Oh, now he's unsieging everything! But I don't think Hero's really in a position to capitalize on this. Wow, his army's actually splitting up a bit. This could be bad. Okay, good. He knows his pulls back, just loses a single zealot. Unsieging everything once again. If Hero goes right now, scans forward, sieging up, Hero's going for it. Storms go down on the bio. But I think this is just too many tanks. Hero needs to fall back. Wow, that is absolutely terrifying. Oh, Dark Templar come in the back. They're starting to pick off tanks. Does the Korean player have a scan? He does, but he does lose 3 tanks. Oh, and they're re-sieging. Hero moving forward, but oh, he's losing everything. Falling in supply quite quickly, but wow, he's cleaning this up a lot better than I thought he would. Very nicely played by Hero. Does lose a ton of stuff, but does manage to clean up the tank count. How many? There are no tanks left on the map. Very nicely played by Hero. That looked like an honestly unbreakable position. But bringing in the DTs from the back, the Korean player had to scan. And before he did, he unsieged his tanks because he didn't want the tanks blowing each other up. And in that moment, Hero surged forward and cleaned up everything. Very nicely played. And that's a really cool way to deal with a massive siege tank force. I really like that. Swing some Dark Templar in from the back. You know, the opponent has to scan, and either they scan and kill some of their own tanks, or they unsiege, scan, and then you run in with all your charge lots. Very cool. And the Korean player coming forward with some stuff here, but I think, yeah, Hero definitely has enough to clean this up now. And the Korean player in a little bit of trouble, but he is reproducing 3 tanks at a time because he has a lot of factories. Where are the other factories? They are somewhere. There we go. So he's reproducing tanks pretty quick. But this is definitely buying Hero some breathing room, allowing him to establish this base here. This medevac's still hanging out here with 200 energy. I'm guessing he dropped the bio here, but then it got cleaned up. Yeah, that Templar's got a kill, so... And, oh, Hero losing some units out in the middle. Very unfortunate. But he is coming forward with a whole bunch of stuff, and he will definitely be able to drive this back. And the Korean player is forced to retreat. Hero pulls back, regroups. But there is another force from the Korean player coming forward. Tanks are sieging up, and Hero pulls back. He wants nothing to do with that. And both players just kind of poking and prodding, pulling back here and there. I mean, what Hero did here earlier wasn't a poke and prod. That was a barrel maul him to death move, actually. But, yeah, lots of positional play. And that's the thing about tanks. You know, if you got lots of tanks, it's all about positioning. You need to have your tanks positioned well. You know, there's Dark Templar trying to slip past, but the army does see it, so instead he chooses to just tuck down there and stay safe. And the army's just going to kind of sit there and wait. But, oh, in the time he's spending scanning doing that, Hero's moving forward here. Might lay siege to that planetary, or might just fall back. And sending a single cell forward, potentially just see what's up. And it does die. But, oh, catching the tanks out of position, but there's still a whole bunch in the back. They do siege up, but Hero manages to get out of range and take out a bunch of infantry. And Hero, not ahead on supply. Okay, I was looking at the wrong color. Still behind on supply. Been behind on supply almost the entire game. And Korean player is pushing forward once again. I really want to know who this is, because he's playing really well. This many tanks is just terrifying, man. And he's going to slowly stutter step his way forward with those tanks. Or in this case, stutter tread, because they move on treads, I guess. Whatever. A single Archon gets a little bit overzealous, takes a whole bunch of tank shots for trouble. But fortunately, Archons... Did I say Zealot? I meant Archons. Fortunately, Archons are really, really durable. But, oh, Hero in a difficult spot. He wants to save his base, but engaging into this is going to be terrifying. Looks like he's going for it, though. Some good storms going down, cleaning up a whole bunch of bile. Oh, wow, the storm's going down, ripping apart the tanks. And the supplies, wow, Hero absolutely pummeling his opponent into the ground. The Korean player behind by 30 supply now. Well played by Hero. Picks off another medevac, and the remaining 3 run on home. You'll never believe what I just saw. It was a massacre. I now have post-traumatic stress disorder. Man, medevac drivers are so hardcore, man. They just see everyone die, then run home, and then they go out with another army and do it again. And, wow, this Warp Prism... I think this is the Warp Prism we saw before. I want to know what this Warp Prism story is, because it's got 2 hit points. Carrying a whole... Oh, okay, it's got some High Templar. Unloads them. Doesn't look like they had the energy for a storm, but now Hero's going to be able to kill this base. Templar are ready to storm down any bile that comes forward. Korean player wants to defend... Oh, wow, so Zealot's just getting caught in the middle and killed. But Hero kills the base, and he's going to get out of there now. Ooh, very nice. Gonna move his, or not. I thought he was gonna move the Warp Prism to try to drop a Templar here and kill 6 SCVs, I guess. But yeah, our hero's definitely winning the economy war right now. This base is nearly mined out. This one is still going strong. And his opponent only has one base that's really mining, and this one's getting low-ish. I'd say about 2/3 depleted. So, yeah, our hero winning in that regard. But the Korean player looks like he's not giving up, even though he's 50 supply behind. Oh, and looks like that War Prism did come in after all. Not sure where that Immortal came from. But here we go. This siege tank line is still pretty scary. Not as terrifying as before. But Hero definitely doesn't want to engage directly into that. If he does, he's going to lose so much stuff. And Korean players continuing to move forward, sieging up once again. There are going to be some tank shots going down. Hero does pull back, though. And this Templar looking pretty exposed. Just kind of sitting there. Templar, move. Templar. Templar. No! No! Oh, how sad. But, yeah. Okay, here we go. So, got another attack in on this base. The Korean player really wants to take that out and equalize. And Hero's going for it. There's lots of tanks there, but he doesn't care. Storm's going down, doing so much damage. And the Korean player bows out of the game with a W and then 2 Korean symbols. I don't know what those mean, but whatever. So, yeah, well played by Hero. Was behind an army for so much of the game, but picking and choosing engagements so very well. Very nicely done. So, thank you guys for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it. And check out the next Hero video. I think I've got 2 left. And they should both be versus Zerg. So, see you guys in those ones.